everybody. It is Wednesday night, and it's time for Super Geeked Up.
Yeah!
Yeah. My name is Jeff. Oh my God, people are going nuts. All right, great. My name is Jeff. Thank you very much for watching. This is your live weekly geeky pop culture show. We talk crazy geeky topics. We play some fun improv style geeky games. Joining me tonight is guest co-host Blair Beveridge. Hello, sir.
How you doing, Jeff? Well, happy to be here, man.
Oh, good. Great to have you here, man. We have a couple awesome guests here as well. We have Lisa Borsotti. Hi.
Hello.
Hi, thanks for being here. And Jessie Wionzek.
Hello.
Oh my God, look, everybody's so excited. Great. What a friendly bunch. All right, folks. I'm in a different setting, as you might see here. This is a hotel room at Atlanta. I am here getting ready for Dragon Con, which starts in 2 days. So one thing I'm going to say right up front, unfortunately, we're not as quite technical savvy as usual here. So I'm running off my phone's hotspot. If the feed ends, I'm sorry, that's what happens. Well, I'll start it up again. Just stick with us if any technical problems happen. Fingers crossed, we will be all good to go and have some good geeky fun. So if you're watching live, thank you very much. You know, we have a live chat going on, which I'm going to check in just a second here. And actually, Blair, maybe you could bring it up as well. Blair, you can go right to the Super Geeked Up homepage, and there's a link there. And we'll share your comments, folks. We always love hearing from you in the chat. You can also tweet us at Super Geeked Up as well. All right, so we like to kick things off with our Geek Tweet of the Week question. Hey, Blair, what's that?
This week, our first Geek Tweet of the Week is, what fictional character do you think has the coolest costume?
Oh, let's start with Jessie.
Oh no, you put me on the spot. Oh gosh. I was trying to think of this before and it was tricky to come up with. I would say, you know who? It's not a specific one, but anyone from World of Warcraft, because those costumes are so like elaborate. There's so many details, and every time anyone makes one of them, I just think, how is this possible to make something so complex and detailed? So the what's the Raven guy? He lives in Karazhan.
I unfortunately
Medivh.
don't know anything about World of Warcraft.
His name is Medivh, and
Medivh is his name, yeah.
Big birdie guy. This is really cool, and he has a cool staff that turns into stuff. So yeah, those World of Warcraft guys.
Awesome, cool. I see in the chat we already have a couple people. Victor Snyder, Lister's mate, are in here. Victor says, "Hello all. I am warning you. If any weird messages appear for me, I have a spunky new puppy. He might be attacking the keyboard." All right.
Oh.
Please do write some weird messages. We always enjoy them.
Yes, absolutely.
Rosa Rocho says, "Oh, okay. He's excited. He says, let's hear you say geek up." All right. Yep. Thank you, Eros, for watching. He's a good friend of our show. All right, Lisa, what do you think the coolest costume is?
I was thinking about this before, and I have a couple ideas because really it depends on your definition of cool, right? What does it mean to be cool? So when I think about what is cool, I'm going Batman. Basic, classic, black, utilitarian. He's got everything in there that he needs, and it just looks really imposing, and it's awesome.
And nipples. He's got nipples too.
Some of them have the fabricated nipples, which, I mean, that's your thing. I don't judge. It's cool.
Yeah. Everybody's got a kink, right?
That's right. That's right.
Well, I mean, I do agree. I think Batman is one of the most amazing costumes ever created, so I'm with you there.
That's why I like you, Jeff.
Yes.
Can I interject? I have a cooler costume from the same universe. I was hoping Lisa would say it, but Mr. Freeze is the coolest costume ever.
Get out of here.
And tonight's dad jokes will be brought to you by Jessie Wionzek.
I did just finish playing Dream Daddy, so.
You know, we do another show called DC Action Hour, and my co-host does so many bad puns. I try to escape it on this show, but I guess I can't tonight.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
bring in the dad. Hashtag it.
All right, Blair, what's your choice?
I'm torn between two things. I do like the simplicity, and I've always loved from Mortal Kombat Sub-Zero. It's
Oh, yeah.
classic. It's just imposing. You see it, you just like, oh yeah, I remember this guy. But something a little
Wait,
more.
is that how you say it? Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Don't make me do the accents again. We'll slip back into that Canadian thing. You don't want to see that.
Yes.
But
I'm a little turned on by that, actually.
But I honestly saw someone cosplay this at San Diego last year, and it blew my mind. Was Reinhardt from Overwatch? Just insanely good costuming.
I got a picture with him in my Cammy cosplay. It
Oh,
was insane.
Oh, that guy was just—it was one of the best I've ever seen.
Was it the guy with the light up eye? Or was it a different one?
I don't remember his eye. It might have been light up, but he definitely...
I remember there was a guy who has a glass eye, and he put an LED in it when he cosplayed Reinhardt.
Wow!
And it was just like, what is this?
That's commitment. That's what that is, right there.
Nice. So in the chat, we got some answers here. Victor Snyder says, "I am voting for Iron Man or Doctor Doom." I agree with that. I think Doctor Doom. I've always loved his costume.
Agreed.
He's great. And Lister's Mate says, of course, this is Lister's Mate answer to pretty much every topic we talk about, but it's Orion Slave Girls.
Oh.
Can't imagine why. And Eros Arocho says he agrees with Batman. Your choice, Lisa. He also says Nightwing and some of the Spider-Man costumes.
Oh, I have another one.
You have another one? Okay, fine.
Well, now I'm thinking of like 50 million of them. I'm like, oh yeah, this guy. Oh yeah, this guy. The original Nightcrawler costume is awesome with the pointy bits and the gloves.
Moving on.
All right, well, you're talking X-Men. I have two answers. One of my answers is I've always been a huge fan of Rogue, like the 90s Rogue costume. The spandex yellow, and the leather jacket. Oh, it's so awesome. And it makes me so happy when I see people cosplay that at cons. And my other choice is I've always really loved Jim Lee's version of the Huntress costume that particularly was in Hush, the Hush series. Huntress is my favorite character, actually, pretty much a female character anyway. And I don't know, I think the purple, I like it. Rocks.
Just to kind of go off script a little bit, just a little sidebar. Hope you don't mind, Jeff. What is the most obscure cosplay you guys have ever seen at a convention?
Oh my gosh, I gotta go in the annals of my memory here.
Because I saw someone cosplay Bob Ross last year. I was like, really? High five, sir.
I've seen George R.R. Martin running around, like clones of George R.R. Martin running around, and I'm like, well played, sir. Well played. Finish your book.
Yeah, seriously.
Just count him the whole time. Throw empty paper at him. Blank paper. Empty paper. Take that, George. I don't exactly know what to call it, but there was a guy dressed up. Oh, no, I do remember. Okay. He was dressed up as Leonardo DiCaprio, and he had a thought bubble with an Oscar in it and like a no sign. Right after the, I think it was 2 years ago. The Oscars where it was like, leave it in. It was really good.
That's funny. Listeners in the chat says you gotta love pointy bits. Okay.
Everyone's got a kink. Hashtag just saying.
I don't know if this is not probably. I don't think this is really obscure, but what came to mind is that I see her like every year now at San Diego. You guys have probably seen her too, maybe. She does. It's the kid from Wreck-It Ralph, but she does the whole car thing.
Yeah.
Vanellope.
Yeah, Vanellope von Schmidt.
Vanellope.
It's spot on too. Like
there's a pun in there.
Yeah. Still good costuming. Good. Well done. I thought Navi was cool until I listened to her for about 5 minutes, and I'm like, oh no, you're just annoying.
Hey, listen.
Yeah,
I do it.
Moving on.
All right. And on Twitter, Carlos Bathory says Doctor Who. I guess he loves like Doctor Who costume. I guess that could be a lot of different things.
Yeah, depends on the doctor.
That's the one I want to do next. Yeah.
Yes, Blair. Yes.
Blair, which doctor do you want to do?
Oh, I Tenet all the way, 100%.
Okay.
I thought you were gonna say all of them at once. I have seen that. It's someone do like 3 or 4 different ones at one time.
It might be tougher to do the new Doctor.
Not for me.
Oh yeah, that's exciting. Female doctor coming up. Also on Twitter, Lister's mate Anthony Davis sends us his own cosplay picture of him in a Starfleet uniform. Very good.
Oh,
sir.
very cool.
He's wearing the red Next Generation, so yeah, he's got the command
Oh,
uniform.
you're gonna die.
No. Next Gen. It's okay. That's
Oh,
good. That means you're like.
I know nothing about Star Trek.
Yeah, that's only in the original series you die if you wear red.
I learned something today.
All right, let's see here. All right, so that was coolest costumes. Feel free to keep chatting about that, folks, or tweet us at Super Geeked Up. Now it's time for me to take a drink of water because I'm losing. Hang on a second. But now it's really time for us to play the Let's Geek It On dating game. All right, so how this works is so these three, so Lisa, Jessie, and Blair, they have chosen fictional characters to be on this dating game. They haven't revealed that to me who this is, so it's a secret right now. And I'm going to ask them some dating questions, like let's pretend I'm the contestant trying to get a date, and they're going to answer as whatever character they're playing. Okay, and I'm going to try to figure out who they are from these questions. And you guys in the chat, please also try to figure out. You guys are usually really good at guessing this, so put in the chat who you think they might be, or on Twitter. All right, so you guys, you've all picked your characters out, right? You're all good to go.
Mm-hmm.
Good to go.
All right. Oh, Blair, you look excited. Okay. In the chat, yes. Victor says, Jeff, you're very hard to hear. Yes, I'm sorry, sir. I am trying to actually speak up. Unfortunately, I do not have my normal microphone because I'm not at home. So I'm sorry about this. I will try my best, though, so you can hear me. I'll also lean close. You can see my nostrils. Anyway.
Get right in there, Jeff. Right up and close.
All right.
Talk to him. AMSR or ASMR, whatever it's called.
Asmer.
All right. So I'm just going to say, oh, here we go. Looks like our third guest is about to join us. Kristin Brumley.
Yay!
All
I'm just
right.
going to baptize her by fire, and I'll tell her to choose a character and go.
Pick one.
Yeah,
You're done.
do you want to send her a character and a message or something?
Kristen.
Yeah. Can you hear me? Am I
Yes.
here?
Yes, we're about to play a
Yay.
geeky dating game. Think of a geeky character. Don't tell anyone, and you're about to be quizzed on her or him.
Don't
Ready?
make it too obscure. Just pick some famous character.
So, Kristin, welcome to the show. Yes, I'm gonna ask you. So this is Let's Geek It On. It's our geeky dating game. I'm gonna ask you some questions. You guys are gonna answer the questions as however your character would answer them. Okay? And I'm gonna try to guess. I'm gonna try to guess what character you are.
Okay.
All right.
We'll put you last.
I'll put you last. Yeah. You'll see
Yeah, that sounds great.
That's fair.
I know you get thrown into the fire there. Okay, Victor Snyder is already making a guess. Supergirl. We haven't even started yet, Victor. I don't know if it's Supergirl.
Damn it,
character
Victor.
yet.
Now we need a new character. I hate you, Victor.
We all pick Supergirl.
Oh.
Victor's so smart. Gosh.
Psychic. It's like that'd be funny, actually, though, if two of you did pick the same one. We'll have to see. All right.
Might
here we
happen.
go. I'm just gonna. Okay, so I'm gonna start with Blair, then go Jessie, and then Lisa, and then Kristin. All right. So you can all. Here's the first question. All right, I'll start with you, Blair.
Mhm.
All right. So Hey, Bachelor number one. Where would you take me on a romantic date?
Oh, I take you somewhere you've never been before. I really like to travel.
Okay. All right. That sounds very vague and amazing. Let's go to Jessie. Same question. Where would you take me on a romantic date?
I would probably take you. Well, if it's our first date, I probably don't trust you enough to go robbing a bank with you. So instead, I would take you to my lab and show you the different things I've been working on.
All right. Oh, I like those hand gestures.
This was not in character. That was just me.
Oh, okay. Good. All right.
I'm a dramatized version of my character.
Lisa, same question.
Okay, so a romantic date. I would have to make sure that you can hang with my bad dance moves, so I would take you to the club.
Uh-oh.
Okay. All right, chat. You got to start helping me out here. This is gonna be very difficult. Kristin.
Well, actually dancing does sound really nice. I think some jazz music of some sort and a little bit of dancing.
Okay, great. Got a couple people like dancing here. That sounds like a lot of fun. Okay, back to bachelor number one.
Oh.
If I took you home to meet my parents, what would they think of you?
Oh, they would not like me at all. I am way older than you. Like way older than you. Most parents don't like me at all.
Okay. Great. I really like older guys.
What? Wow.
Jessie.
Who said I want to meet your parents? They would just get in the way of us, doing our taking over the world activities. Parents aren't necessary.
Okay, Lisa.
Your parents would love me because I'm a real stand-up person, a real paragon of virtue.
Is there a pun? Is there a pun in there? Are you a pair?
Hang on. Okay, that's great. I love paragons. That's what I don't like better than a good paragon. Okay, Kristin.
I imagine they would get along just fine. I'm really an upstanding citizen myself. I wouldn't say a paragon. I would say something more patriotic, perhaps. So perhaps if your parents are patriotic, they would like me.
Oh, very patriotic. Yes, I'm sure they would love you.
Oh.
All right. Here, let me go to the. So, let me go to the chat here. Let's see if any of these are correct yet. All right. And so Blair, some people in the chat. Oh, first off, Ryan Ward says, and yet again I enter at the awkward moment.
Did someone say everyone's got a kink?
So Blair, multiple people in the chat, Blair, think that you are Doctor Who.
Well, it's because you have the smartest audience on the internet. Of
I
course.
would like to know. There is no Doctor Who.
But which one? Which one?
I'm just the doctor. I don't know which one. There's only one.
So,
I didn't choose one.
You have the smartest audience on the internet. I agree with that. Thank you, Blair, for saying that.
Absolutely.
So let's see here. T. Salter and Victor have guesses about Jessie. T. Salter says he thinks Jessie is Dr. Horrible. Victor thinks she's the Queen of England.
One of them is right, and one of them is
not fictional.
It depends on what.
All right, so
Did I say if they're? I am Dr. Horrible.
I actually thought you were Brain
Nice.
from Picky and the Brain.
I thought that too.
I knew it would be between them, like some supervillain.
Well done.
All right,
Well done.
so Lisa, you are Commander Shepard.
Yes, I'm Commander
Yes.
Shepard.
Was it
And
the
this is my
Paragon
favorite
boys?
webcast on the Citadel.
Yes.
So good.
Oh my God, this is my favorite show ever. Now that you said that, thank you.
That's a soundbite forever.
That's great.
Play it in an intro.
The dancing totally makes sense once I knew who it was. That was like, okay, that's awesome. Yeah. Oh shit. Yes, that's the dance. Wait, I'm sorry. Let me put you on the big screen. Do it again. I'm sorry. Yes, there you go.
Oh, it's Slash Dance.
All right. By the way, folks, and that's how I met Lisa, is through our love of Mass Effect. We were at San Diego Comic-Con, and I just got done running a game in the game room. And first, she had a Zatanna costume on, and that's why I first saw. But she had this Mass Effect backpack on. I was like, oh shit, we have to talk. And then
It's like drop the mic. Oh shit, we need to talk.
And
We have a very
y'all.
civilized conversation.
In your face.
All right. And let's see. And then we got Kristin still.
I know what it is.
No,
Okay, good.
let him play. Let him play.
But you can play.
No. Go ahead, Jessie.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I don't fucking know.
She's Peggy Carter.
Yeah, I am.
And I love it because I'm currently wearing a shirt that I wore for Peggy Carter cosplay that I did.
All right,
Very cool.
Kristin, you want to tell the story?
Which story? There are a lot of stories.
The Peggy Carter story?
Sad.
My Peggy Carter story?
Your recent Peggy Carter story?
You know, it's the best part is the fact that we keep saying story, but so recently I was at Gen Con and I cosplayed as Peggy Carter.
Oh yeah, I remember. I saw your Instagram.
With my boyfriend who was cosplaying as Captain America, but like the full uniform. It's like where he's got the war stuff on. He's gonna go save everybody. And so we did the whole costume contest thing together. We ended up winning 3rd place in the pop culture category. And then right after he proposed to me, and so now he's my fiance. So Peggy and
Congratulations!
thank you. So Peggy and Steve get back together.
They get to dance.
The way it should be.
Well, because the TARDIS brings back Steve to the right time so they can go to the dance together. We did a whole skit. It was really cute.
I'm gonna cry. It's too good.
I almost cried. I was on stage. I'm like, oh, this is so about. Oh, they get together. Oh. Yeah.
That is an awesome
good.
story. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
In the chat, we actually have a bunch of people just joined us. Acrodius, Chris Hadley. Hello, gentlemen. By the way, this T. Salter, I think, knows Lisa. So I'm assuming this is somebody you know. Because he or she says Lisa's so predictable about Commander Shepard. And they also said, you stopped playing Overwatch for weeks when Mass Effect came out. I guess Andromeda's probably what
Tom, it's my friend Tom. Oh, hi, Tom. I'm so glad you tuned in.
I did the same thing. Of course I did the same thing.
I did not do the same thing.
Hell yeah, that's
It's
what you
true,
should be doing.
yeah.
Playing Mass Effect. Good. Excellent. Welcome, Tom. Thank you for this inside Lisa information. Appreciate it. Also, Victor Snyder says Peggy Carter is one of the best female leads on TV in recent years.
Yes.
Yeah, she is.
Truth.
Yep.
Truth.
Yeah. They apparently the reason they canceled the show was like for no reason. But like the show was doing well. Like there was no real reason. They were just like
girls on TV? Nah, don't need those. Interesting historical drama? Why?
People won't watch a female lead. People just don't. They don't want to watch a female lead. Didn't you know this?
I've been invited.
2 shows ago, we actually had a serious discussion about that. Which I know we usually goof around this show, but we actually had a serious discussion about why people were not going to see movies like Atomic Blonde and other stuff that I love and want to see.
Seriously.
Anyway, watch our show 2 weeks ago, folks. We're gonna get into that. It was an interesting discussion.
get in the TARDIS, go back. Okay.
Kick Wolfman in the nards, and everything will be fine.
Profit.
Profit.
You forgot the question marks.
Yeah.
Another mic.
Question mark.
Profit.
By the way, Tom in the chat says he has loads of stories about you, Lisa. So yes, feel free to share, Tom.
Yes.
Yeah, Tom, tell him about my very aggressive Lucio.
Yes.
You want to tell it now since you just brought it up?
Speaking of a really aggressive Lucio.
Yeah, I'm a very aggressive Lucio main. I know aggressive is not usually what you think of, but I'm telling you, it's a game changer. It is a match winner. Aggressive Lucio, you heard it here first.
I'm down. I feel it.
Healers that don't heal. I don't have a problem with that at all. No.
I stay on speed boost the whole match.
Oh, no, his heals are on, but I go up to people and shoot them in the face and boop them off cliffs and stuff. So yeah, the heals are always on though.
I like
you got to get in their face a little bit.
Like it's very gentle. It's like boop.
Yeah. Even has a boop voice line.
Yeah.
That's true. He does. That's right.
Oh,
like, here's a cliff. Goodbye. Yeah. See ya.
And then you say hi when they fall off. That's what I always do. Or thank you.
Or like pump up the beat.
Guys, we have some other stuff coming up, folks. We have another Geek Tweet question. We're going to do Ultimate Geek Championship. We're going to talk some Geeked Up news. First, let's talk to our guest here. So this is a cosplay themed episode because actually I just found out Kristin is also at Dragon Con. She actually just survived, like, I don't know, freaking crazy storm, I guess, trying to drive in.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Dragon Con is known for its cosplay, amazing cosplay. So and all these ladies do cosplay themselves. So first, I guess I'll start maybe with Kristin. How long have you been doing cosplay, and do you have any tips for anybody who like maybe has not done it yet but wants to start getting into it?
Well, I've been cosplaying, I would say like officially cosplaying since maybe like 2009. So I guess that's a while. It doesn't feel like a while, but I guess so. But the main thing for me in terms of tips is I'm always looking for things for a costume that I can use for multiple costumes to be cost effective and to also have a really cool closet full of things that I wear on a daily basis. So when I open my closet at home, it's a lot of cosplay / LARP stuff, which is cool. It's part of my style, and it means I have not only a cool closet, but it's like more cost effective in terms of all the things that I'm buying and the space that I'm using in my home. So
awesome. That's a really good tip, because I'm sure that can get very expensive. So Lisa, I mean, I guess you said you're kind of newer-ish, right? So how long have you been doing it?
I've been cosplaying since 2011.
Oh, you've been doing it well then.
So yeah, so I wouldn't say I'm newish, but I would say that I'm probably a bit more casual than some cosplayers are, for sure. It's definitely more of a part-time hobby, but something that I really enjoy.
Cool. Do you have any tips for any people who like want to start doing it?
Yeah, sure. I would definitely agree with Kristin that having pieces that work for multiple costumes is a godsend. Also, I just try to look for inspiration in all kinds of different places. So, I mean, I have, I love going to thrift stores. They can be a great place to find stuff. Etsy, even just on Amazon, there's really kind of fun like odds and ends that are out there. And the thing that's amazing about the internet is that, I mean, you can pretty much get anything that you need, right? So even if you're like me, like, okay, I cannot sew. I want to learn how to sew, but I cannot sew right now. And I was thinking, how am I going to get a tailcoat for my Zatanna costume? I got a tip online, and there's so many tips. There's so many great cosplay resources online. You know, try getting a boy's tailcoat. And that's what I did. I ordered a little tux tailcoat from a tux store online. It was a boy's, I bought the biggest size that I could find, and just prayer, I took that thing out and it looked so tiny, and I'm like, how is this gonna work? But I put it on, and somehow it was like magic. It was like, sisterhood of the traveling tailcoat. It just kind of fit. So it was good. It was good.
Awesome. That's great. By the way, on Twitter, Anthony Davis at Lister's Mate is sending a bunch of cosplay pictures. We got a Mario one here. There's one of him as a hot dog. All right, thank you, Anthony.
Hot Dog Man from Life is Strange.
Hot Dog.
Wait.
He's the sidekick of Condiment Man.
Life is Strange is a video game, and the Hot Dog Man just randomly shows up. There's a hot dog vendor, Hot Dog Man. He shows up randomly all the time.
Show up in every video game.
That too.
Jessie, do you have a favorite costume you ever done, or do you have a costume you wanted to do that you haven't yet?
Oh, okay, I have both. My favorite costume is definitely my Doof Warrior from Mad Max Fury Road. So if you don't know the name, it's the guy who plays the flamethrower guitar with the red onesie and a weird mask. And it's the most intense costume I've ever made. It was the first time I ever made like a real kind of prop. So I made the mask, and then I made his huge guitar out of mostly dollar store stuff, and then I covered it on more of it. And it's awesome because it's so cool and like completely transformative when you put it on, because you have the mask, you have this huge guitar, this onesie, you can't tell what gender I am, and I just go around and I'm like, yeah, Doof Warrior! And also his backstory is very tragic, so when I explain it to people, I get a very good reaction. So the mask is his dead mom's face. If you want more information, comment and I'll tell you. And then a costume I really want to do, I saw a fan art online, and I'm not sure if I would do it exactly the same, but I want to do like a body armor version of Diva's mecha from Overwatch. So instead of having the whole mecha, it would be like EVA foam probably, just like as if she was having to be mobile in the field and like go up to people instead of in a huge mech. So she could do like reconnaissance missions. And then just nerf this, pew, 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 pew. Winky face. That kind of thing. So maybe one day. So I've never made armor like that before. So hopefully in the next year I'll do that because I think it'd be really fun. Oh, and my other one. I don't know if I'll ever get to do this, so I have to say it because it might never come into existence. I want to do, I'm really into drag and RuPaul's Drag Race. I want to do a combination costume, and you might not understand this reference if you haven't seen the latest season of RuPaul's Drag Race, but there's a part where there's a lip sync, and the person lip syncing is wearing a mask that covers their face, and it was a big deal. So I want to do a costume where it's no face from Spirited Away, and I'm completely covered, so you can't see anything. And there's this lip sync, the same music, and then the voiceover saying, "Take off your mask so we can see your lips." And I take off the no face costume, and I'm the Babadook underneath. And everyone's Babadook! And I have huge long nails, and then I sing the song, and it's totally creepy and awful. And I just really want to do it. I mean, yes. In my Babadook.
Oh gosh.
And I never watched that whole movie because it terrifies me too much. So.
In the live chat, Ryan Ward says, "I want to cosplay as the cabbage vendor from Avatar: The Last Airbender someday."
If you do it, everyone will love you. I have seen evidence of this.
Yeah, they usually go really well.
Yeah, you just sit on the floor with a single cabbage and go, "My cabbages!" And everyone cries with you.
Kristin, is there something you've really wanted to cosplay that you haven't yet?
Captain Phasma.
Oh, all right.
Yes.
Queen. So bad.
Well, it's coming up here, the next movie.
I know. It's a very complicated costume. And you want to do it right. Yeah. So it's also just like, yeah. So then in the end, it'll be expensive too. So, yeah.
Have you seen anyone in the 501st with that yet? I haven't.
I saw
one.
One?
I haven't.
I know they exist. I know that they're out there, but I haven't actually personally encountered maybe one. And it was like from afar, and I was like, ah! And then they were gone somehow. Like sneaky ninja Captain Phasma.
Like they somehow escaped the Star Killer base. Just boom, gone.
Out of the garbage somehow.
Didn't go boom.
So, Lisa, have you? I don't know if maybe you have already. Tell me, but have you ever considered cosplaying Commander Shepard? If you're such a big fan.
Yes. Yeah, that's sort of my dream. That would be the pinnacle of my cosplay existence, and one day I will get there, but in the short term I really would love to do a Tracer cosplay because
it'd be so good.
I kind of already have the whole thing, just kind of push this little thing. I'm kind of already there, so and I just love her, and I love her costume. I think it's really cute and awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Sweet. If you do a Commander Shepard cosplay and you're in costume, you can come on the show every single week if you can.
Special guest spot. We have to be in character.
Challenge accepted. Challenge accepted.
And it's documented, published.
It's documented on air now too.
Witnesses.
Everyone are the witnesses. Yeah.
That's right.
All right. Are there any for all you guys? Are there any links you want to give out? Do you have any websites? Do you have a Twitter you want to give out where people can follow you? Jessie, start with you.
You can follow me on Twitter at egglasses, as in EGG glasses. EG glasses. You can find my Facebook page at 50 Shades of Fandom. 50 Shades of Fandom. And I'm also on YouTube under 50 Shades of Fandom, but I haven't updated my YouTube in a long time. So if you want to see my old stuff, go there. And maybe future stuff.
All right, awesome. Kristin?
Most of my costuming stuff I just do on Facebook. So if you go to my Facebook page there, it's Stay in Character. And I post all costume and LARP related things there.
Yeah, I heard you might have a web series, Kristin.
You're so much better at plugging things than I am.
Yes, I am.
Basic Adventuring 101 is my LARP web series, which you should also check out. And it's, you know, Twitter and Facebook. But I mean, if you just look up Basic Adventuring 101, you will find it on the internet. Google knows me.
Dun, dun, dun.
Blair has been on this show in the past to talk about that.
Yes, I have. I'm the green guy, or one of the green guys.
He's cool.
The main green guy.
I'm the head green guy.
Lisa, is there anything you want to mention? Twitter, Instagram, anything where people can follow you? You don't have to, but if you want to pimp anything out, feel free.
Yeah, I don't really have a lot going on right now, but I am on Instagram at Social Kombat, which is exactly how it sounds, except with a K, like Mortal Kombat. And I've been thinking about sort of parlaying that into more of what I do in cosplay, and kind of, I've been tossing around this idea of social cosplay, so we'll see, with a K. So anyway, stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Nice. Just keep doing that. That was very actually helpful.
Blair is the Foley guy.
I just do the dancing. All right, Blair, who is our guest co-host, what would you like to, where can people find what you're up to?
You can find me on Twitter at Blair Beveridge, or at WhoPod, which is a podcast that I run for a internet community called Team Human, who are a bunch of people whose values are around being kind to animals, just being kind to humans in general, and just treating everybody with respect. Everybody has their place in this world, and it is the nicest and safest place on the internet. I can say that with 100% honesty. And we've interviewed everyone from Kristin Brumley to Felicia Day on our podcast. So we've it's a beautiful little community. The podcast is a lot of fun, and we just recorded our 50th episode last week. So we're going strong.
Yay! Congrats.
Thank you.
All right. And of course, folks, you can get all our stuff at supergeekedup.com and at supergeekedup. Let's do some Geeked Up news of the week. And Blair, help me out here.
Yes. First of all would be the first look at Wasp's costume on Evangelina Lilly, as opposed to just being on the wall. Because we did see it once already. So it was like, first look at the costume. Like, no, it's not really. But it's the first one with Evangeline Lilly wearing the costume.
My thing is, it didn't look anything like the one in the first movie.
Not at all. Like, it's like, why did you even do that?
The one in the first movie looked good, actually. It looked like the Wasp. It was yellow.
Yes. Very Wasp-like, as opposed to this new one, which is more sleek and dark.
Hashtag gritty.
Hashtag Christopher Nolan. Hashtag, whatever.
Yeah. It's like the Dark Knight version of the Wasp.
Pretty much. I'm looking at it right now, so if my eyes are weird, it's okay. I kind of preferred the other one. It was a little bit more on the nose, and I'm sorry, superheroes, I kind of want to be a little bit on the nose. It's campy. We all know it. It's all fantasy. Be a little on the nose. We don't.
And it's Ant-Man.
Yeah, Ant-Man is the one thing that's supposed to be really fun.
Yeah.
Right. And let's be real. She should be wearing the Ant-Man costume. Okay.
It should just be the Wasp. But I could talk about that forever.
Yes. Yeah. That's a whole other conversation. But I mean, it's okay. It's boring to me. I preferred the one they had at the end of Ant-Man. I prefer her in the Ant-Man uniform itself. So that's my take on it.
All right. Any other thoughts to you guys? I've actually always really liked the Wasp character, so I'm excited that they're doing Wasp, and they're working Jenna Van Dyne actually into the movie as well.
I mean, I'm glad she exists and she gets to talk. Hopefully, she'll get to talk to another woman about something that isn't about a man.
And pass that test. What's that test?
The Bechdel test.
The Bechdel test.
Bechdel, or Bechdel. I say Bechdel, but my pronunciation could be wrong. I like that the new uniform is not super out here. It's somewhat flat. But it's not, yeah, I like the colorful one more. I just think it's much more visually interesting. It'd be really cool to see her moving around with the colors. I don't know. And especially if you have Ant-Man who's red, and then that one which is more blue, then it, you know, and he has the silver and she has the gold, so it ties together better.
Well, in the chat, Victor says, true, Jessie, Wasp just needs her own show or movie. That'd be cool.
Right?
Preach.
Women of Marvel, the series. We just get like 8 miniseries of only female characters from the Marvel Universe. Here, let's name them right now. The Wasp, She-Hulk, Black Widow, Peggy Carter, who already has one, so there's one. 100.
She doesn't have a movie.
I know,
There's
right?
no movie.
No movie. And then we could have one male character that makes a cameo in every single one. The Night Nurse of the Marvel Universe. You know.
So the woman gets like named first, and
This guy.
also this guy, the Wasp, and Ant-Man.
Yeah. And that ant dude. That guy who can shrink sometimes.
Yeah. Oh god, yeah. And the guy that shrinks sometimes.
The Wasp and the other bug.
Figure.
Played by the comedian from was it? Oh God, what's the Will Ferrell movie? I don't like Will Ferrell, so that's why I never remember the name of his movie.
I don't know.
The one who's a newscaster, very famous, Ron Burgundy.
Anchorman.
Oh, Anchorman.
I love Lamp.
Are you just saying that because you love Lamp, or?
I love Lamp. I don't remember anything else.
I don't know.
Set in San Diego, which we all know what that means.
Stay classy.
In the chat, Tom says Jessica Jones was pretty great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. 100%.
That's true.
We could get a Hellcat series. And She-Hulk could be in it. It could be Buzz. And we could get Miss Marvel. Yeah, anyway.
They actually are.
I bet you they're afraid to do She-Hulk. They're like, I ain't touching that with a 10-foot pole.
It'd be so
That'd be great though. It's trickier to do, but it'd be great.
I don't know much about her, but she's a lawyer. That's her kind of alter ego, right? Yeah.
A good place to start is the new. I don't know why they did it this way. They titled the comics Hulk, and they titled the first volume of the graphic novel, like the trade paperback, She-Hulk. Why, I don't know. But it's the new like run of She-Hulk, or just the Hulk, because now, spoiler alert, Bruce Banner died. Sorry, that's a big spoiler. And it deals with her PTSD and her trying to go back to work. And so for anyone with mental health issues, it's amazing. It's so good, and it's a good place to start because you only need to know the bare minimum. There's really interesting stories. Yeah. Sorry, that was a huge spoiler. I kind of ruined a lot of stuff there.
We do actually try not to do any spoilers on the show. So.
I didn't say anything.
You'll fix it in post, right? It's not live, right?
No, it's not live. No, not at all.
No one's watching us, right?
No.
By the way, Blair, we have a very important question from you for Chris in the chat. Chris Hadley. Is Blair doing his appearance from his spare room? I see an ironing board, toilet paper, and exercise machine. Interesting.
What gave it away?
I was wondering that too.
Was it the ironing board, the exercise machine, and the toilet paper?
Yeah, I
don't know.
40-pack of toilet paper behind you.
Those sound like essentials to me.
Yeah, I am in the office, which is basically the apartment's version of the man cave. I just have to live with toilet paper and ironing boards.
Hey, as Sam Gamgee said, there's no harm in being prepared. Okay,
That's right.
You live in your best life.
I am doing
40
that.
rolls of toilet paper.
No shame in that toilet paper game.
Not at all.
Mr. Frodo, I'm packing the toilet paper. Let's go.
Good job, pooping. All right.
All right, let's go to our next news item.
The next item is the Arrow. We have an actor named Michael Emerson.
Right, I'll take it.
Thank you. Thank you.
He's like, the Arrow.
The Arrow, the show I don't
He
know.
doesn't know any of this stuff, and Jessie doesn't watch it either. So it's basically me, Lisa, maybe Kristin. We'll talk about this. All right, that's it. So anyway, folks, I'm a big fan of Arrow. We talk about it on our DC Action Hour show all the time. So Michael Emerson, who some of you may know from either Lost or Person of Interest, he's a really awesome actor. He is going to be one of the villains in this upcoming season 6 of Arrow. They haven't revealed who he is. They did some hints this past week. For those of you who watch it, some of them, some people are speculating it might be Caden James. Lisa, you probably don't know who that is if you haven't watched last season.
No, I'm not caught up.
All right, don't worry. Doesn't ruin anything. Anyway, I do think that would be a perfect fit if it is who he is. But I'm excited for him to actually be on the show because I think he's very talented and I thought he was awesome person of interest. We'll see what that is. And our last bit of news.
That one I know.
Show.
Yes, we have. It's actually been a nice time to transition female characters in movies. Our lovely friend from the Terminator series, James Cameron, thought he was going to drop some knowledge bombs on the world about how he feels women in movie are. And I'm just going to let Jessie, looks like she's about to explode. So I'm just going to pass it on over to Jessie.
First of all, as someone with a degree in cinema studies, this is completely incorrect. No. I don't know, but men talking about what women should do is wrong in and of itself. So we're just starting off on the bad foot. That's how you say it, right? The bad foot.
Well, let's set up because a lot of people watching don't know what we're talking about, I'm sure. Blair, help me out if I need. I'm going to try to remember as best I can from reading the article.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So first off, this was part of a much larger article that they were doing with him, and this was just a little piece of it that got. But somehow he got talking about the Wonder Woman movie, and which obviously has gotten almost universal praise, it seems. And I guess he was saying he thought that was kind of a step backward for female characters. So I guess that was the gist, more or less, right?
Yeah, he doesn't like how they kind of they put her in a very objectifiable costume.
Yeah, that's right.
And paraded her around, and I think James missed the point pretty clearly on that. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
And he talks about Sarah Connor, who in his very first Terminator movie was not very strong, but in the second Terminator was incredibly good. And then goes on to say that she's a bad mother, and it's just kind of like you can't even compliment your own character, right? Maybe your opinion of her is that she's not a bad, she isn't a great mother, but on a lot of other hands, she was preparing her son for life she knew he was going to live, and she made him as good as possible. So it just seemed like he just completely missed the point. But I mean, again, Jessie said it earlier, men should not be the ones having these kind of discussions or making these public opinions at this stage, I think.
I will clarify. It's totally fine for anyone of any gender to enter into a critical discussion of the media that we create and consume. That's a very important thing in order to improve the media that we have in the world. But for men to go around saying, women should not be like this, or this is not a good woman thing to do, just by itself is wrong, because you're not a woman. You can't tell me what I can and can't do. You don't. Well, yeah.
And the main thing I think that the article is talking about, though, is the fact that Cameron was making the point that he's like, oh, she's not really a strong woman because she doesn't fit this type.
Yeah, exactly.
And what's happening is basically saying that he's categorizing only a strong woman character is only a strong woman character if she fits this, mold, which is the whole issue and what has been like the thing that we've been fighting to begin with. Mm-hmm. So the point that therefore the article is making is that a woman is a strong character because she is well developed and multidimensional, which, she's a character. Like that's what it is. That's what it's about. Which I think is a good point.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yeah, it's a Hollywood Reporter article, folks. And that is what the authors, it's actually very well written, I think, makes. I actually think it is a very good point. I do think we kind of, a lot of times, have fallen into this thing, right? That either the female character is either the damsel of distress or she's totally kick-ass and just like Sarah Connor in Terminator 2. And it's like one or the other, and there's nothing in between. And I think that's kind of part of that.
That was kind of the point I was going to make, Jeff, is that it's like there's only two ways to be, right? There's no middle ground. And moreover, Cameron kind of said, like, well, I don't know why things are like this because there are women in power in Hollywood. And that might be true, but I think a little bit of that is also kind of this kind of tokenism type stuff, that you can't just point to, okay, well, Wonder Woman had a female director. That doesn't mean that that we have gender equity and parity in Hollywood. I mean, these major studios, the people who are making these decisions consistently day in and day out are for the most part men, and it's changing slowly, and that's good. But I think that there needs to be room for all different stories to be told, all different characters. To be a compelling female lead, you don't necessarily have to be gritty in the way that this narrative has been kind of perpetuated, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you've got to be gritty, and you've got to show these women as hard, because otherwise they won't be compelling heroes. And I think that the stories can just be more rich if we kind of get outside that structure, really.
And to build on that, that's the whole thing about she's a bad mother. It's problematic because if you are the stereotype of tough, gritty, not emotional, then because of how women are viewed as like good mother figures, are loving, nurturing, kind, gentle, etc., you can't have both in that world. It's like a dichotomy. They can't exist
You're becoming
together.
more masculine. You're only a badass if you're more masculine,
Exactly.
basically.
So compare this to Ripley from Aliens, right? You get away from her, you bitch, etc., where she has the nurturing, loving, and she's still tough and gritty, So it all goes, and then there's the whole thing of the fierce mother, where the mother archetype can be so many different things. And if you've never seen it, you should watch The Witch. It looks like it's 2 V's, but it's just The Witch. It's on Netflix, and it's historical drama about this family that gets exiled for their religious beliefs, and it has really interesting relationships between the various female characters, the mother and the daughter. It's really good. It's really interesting. I highly recommend it. It's not really sci-fi or geeky, but it's a terrific movie. Creepy, will make you think. And it's got those weird mother archetypes in it. So
Cool.
Something to think about.
Well, that was all very, very well spoken. So thank you for sharing all that. That's awesome. Hey, we don't we have smart audience people. We also have smart guests, Blair. Look at that.
I don't have a master's degree for nothing.
Nice.
I spent $40,000 on that.
I will just say.
Remember, these are Americans. They spend that in 1 year of undergrad.
Oh yeah, sorry guys. Sorry, I forgot. I also get free healthcare. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But my dollar's only worth 75 cents to yours.
That's true. All right. Cool. I do want to say, I'm sure Cameron took a lot of flack for this, and I just want to say, for me personally, like, I am not giving Cameron any trouble, because I do think he was trying to come from a place where he wants better roles for women, and he has personally done more than one film, obviously, where there are, I think, awesome roles. Like, I think Sarah Connor is one of my favorite characters, to be honest with you. I think that's both those movies. She is awesome, and so anyway, so I think Cameron has done plenty of that of good stuff though for female characters. All right, let's see here. What do we got next here? Geek tweet number 2.
All right, guys. If you could own any costume from a movie or TV show, what costume would you want?
Well, Blair, what's your choice?
Iron Man suit.
Nice.
That's a good one.
That'd be awesome.
Yep.
Baller.
I don't even like Iron Man, but that suit is kick-ass.
See, now you got to be specific about which version.
The latest.
Triangle. How do I do triangle? Triangle.
Oh, Lester.
Circle. Yes.
The big one.
Yeah.
No,
The
the
best
latest
one.
one. Whatever the latest upgrade is.
The best one.
The one he wore in Spider-Man. How about let's go with that one?
All right. Good one.
Well, in the chat, Victor says he wants Hulk's pants.
Yes, the stretchy pants that never rip.
Those are
Always
the
go back.
greatest pants in the history of fictional kind.
I wake up in
That's
cutoffs. I never wear cutoffs. Sorry, that's a reference.
They're purple. So
That's a good one.
I want Michael Keaton's Batman costume from the first Batman. That's what I want.
No nipples?
No. Only the nipples.
You're missing out, man. That's where the power comes from.
Oh, all right. I didn't know that.
Definitely.
People are distracted. They're looking
I
at
was
the
gonna
nipples and
say.
how.
They're bat darts.
Distraction.
Current orientation. Nips.
Just look at Austin
Wow.
Powers. Okay.
Yeah.
And because it's a male figure, people don't expect it. So you'd
Especially when he
be
starts
jiggles.
sashaying. It's like a Batman sachet.
I like it.
All right, Lisa, what costume would you like to have?
You know, I've got to go a bit girly here, but it is a tie between the dress that that flowy, beautiful dress that Padme wore in Attack of the Clones when they were at the lake, which is so beautiful. It's a tie between that and the red number that Claire wore in season 2 of Outlander when they were in France. It was like this red satin, huge at the bottom, super plunge, total couture, and I was totally there for it.
Nice.
Sweet. Kristin, what's your choice?
Captain Phasma.
Yeah.
Then you don't have
If
to
I
make it.
actually, yes, but if I actually were to have that costume, I would not fit in it at all because Gwendolyn Christie is an impressive 6'3".
That's what
And I
lips
am-
are for.
I am a whole foot shorter.
Stilts. Just
But
put some stilts.
if I couldn't wear it, if I couldn't find a way to somehow make it wearable, I would display it proudly in my home forever. And then be scared every time I see it.
Yeah.
Awesome. And Jessie, what about you?
Oh gosh, I was trying to think of a second one so I'd have a good contrast. But number one is definitely the original Doof Warrior costume from Fury Road because I spent so many hours staring at it, trying to figure out how to do it. And the guitar is an actual guitar that weighs like 50 pounds, and it would just be so awesome to have it. And the part that I didn't realize till after I made the costume was that there's a cape made of shorts on the back. Yeah, and it's amazing. It's amazing. And the real mask, that'd be awesome. I was trying to think of like a girly, like a Disney princess type one, but I couldn't really, I don't know. Trying to think, and I can't. If you give me 10 minutes, it's going to come into my brain.
I thought it was going to be Diva's mech for you.
Well, I don't know if the mech counts as an actual costume because it's the thing that she uses, right? But like Sombra's costume would be awesome to have the hair. My boyfriend was telling me, you should cosplay Sombra. And I was like, I am not that cool. One day. Maybe.
Newsflash, you are that cool. Make it happen.
There you go. There you go.
Do it.
Oh.
Don't let your dreams be dreams.
That's right.
Just do it. Oh, you know what I would really love? This is kind of obscure. I don't know if you guys know the song Actual Cannibal Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
They did an amazing coming up behind you. They did a stage version of it, which is amazing, and you should look it up. And they wore these giant Shia LaBeouf heads made out of paper. I want one of those. I'll just walk around with Shia LaBeouf head. That would be such a fun costume.
Cannibal.
Okay, next year I'm doing actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf. It's gonna happen. Shia LaBeouf face, like a leg with blood, a bear trap.
Oh
It's
my
happening.
God.
And I'll just have the song playing on repeat. I did a Mulan costume one time, and I was with a group, and we had the music playing the whole time we walked around the con. So this time, if I do Shia LaBeouf, I'll just have the song playing the whole time.
Hey, you were that blind lady.
Quiet.
Yeah, she's not actually blind. She just covers her eyes because she believes in luck.
Okay.
And she's really old. I was the grandmother from Mulan.
Nice.
In the live chat, Lister's mate says what costume he would have. This is very nice. I did not pay him to do this. He's mentioning my own series, Super Knocked Up. He says, I want the costume that Mark Mazula wore in Super Knocked Up or the one Jordan Gibson wore. If you haven't seen that, folks, that's a series I did about a supervillain who gets pregnant by her superhero nemesis. So it's a comedy about two enemies trying to raise a baby. I still have those costumes, Anthony.
Raffle them.
Yeah. Yeah. Like that.
Raise money for charity.
Maybe he wants to shoot another season.
Production cost.
lot of coughing going on here.
Allergies.
Con crud.
Pre-con crud.
Give me 2 days.
All right, let's do our last game of the night, folks. Ultimate Geek Championship. This is actually a new game for us. The second time we've done it. Yeah, Jessie's ready. She's doing the flexing the biceps.
I don't have any good lighting. My light's behind me, so you can't see it. But it's there. It still exists.
Impressive.
Now I'm like looking at I'm like, hey, I have one too.
You can do it. Sometimes if you want to feel really good, you just look at your delt muscles instead. Or you can do one of these.
I got it. It's right there.
I look more like a wrestler this way.
I am not doing that.
Me neither. My muscle goes the wrong way. It goes toward the ground. I feel like I'm doing it wrong. It's like,
I'll teach you how to
why
squat.
does it go that way?
Wait, we're not the ones fighting though, right?
Well, apparently you would totally beat Lisa if you were.
That's just what you think, because maybe I don't have nice arm muscles, but I got magic and mind control.
Whoa.
And good dance moves.
Yes, she's got dance moves.
She would win the dance battle. We'll turn this into a Star-Lord competition.
You have no idea, like how I could just watch that on a loop.
We need to give it.
And then you have to do the drink animation, the Mass Effect drink animations that are all the same. The drink and shake. What's in this thing?
Yeah, and the latest one, at least, the cups are so huge in Andromeda. It's ridiculous. Like in the
It's like life is really bad for them all of a sudden. Actually,
Life is bad out there. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. It's like Jal. If Jal complains about Kadara one more time, I'm gonna shoot him myself. It's like, shut up. Hey, we have bigger problems here.
Come on, gotta save the galaxy, man.
All right, so how this works is I'm going to read off 2 characters, and then we're just going to say who we think would win in that battle. All right? So we were chatting about this before the show. So here we go. I'll just pick a few of these. Let's start off with here we go. All right. So let's start off with Buffy versus Faith, the Vampire Slayer.
We saw that already. It happened.
Well, yeah, but tell me who you think, like, who was the remake.
Honestly, I would have to choose Faith. She's got less training wheels, less conscience.
I'm gonna choose Faith just because she's my favorite character from that show. I love her. And she has less morals.
Yeah, I mean, in a true fight to the death, Buffy doesn't finish the job, in my opinion.
Okay, this doesn't have to be a fight to the death necessarily. I didn't say that, but
well, what's the point?
There's hardcore.
I am. I'm deep. No,
what do you ladies think? Buffy?
I've never seen Buffy.
Oh, just choose one.
Faith sounds cool.
Okay, great.
I guess.
Lisa, Jessie?
I choose Buffy.
All right, there we go. We got one vote for Buffy.
I'm choosing Buffy. Come at me. Don't really come at me.
Yeah,
you want some of this? You want some of that? No.
I want the whole thing.
Can you handle that?
All of a sudden, we're 80s wrestling. This is great.
Can you smell? Wait, is that 8? No,
that's 90s. That's fine.
In the live chat, Victor goes for Buffy. Tammy Anderson says Faith because she's willing to do anything to win. Good point. And then Tom in the chat, when Blair said about the death match, he said that escalated quickly.
But let's be real. They did this in the show a few times, and Buffy always won.
Of course. Yeah, it's named after her.
Yeah.
I'm going to also say
right,
Buffy.
Let's go to the next one. How about Wolverine versus Deadpool?
Nobody. That would never end.
It would not, yeah.
I know what would happen. Well, I have a theory. So, first of all, Wolverine would be all like, you want to fight, bub? And then Deadpool would be like, I know a better way to handle this than fighting. And he would just start flirting with Wolverine. And there are 2 options here. Option A, Wolverine gets really, like, grossed out and like, I don't want to do this. Goodbye, I'm leaving and going back to Canada or something. Option B, they fall in love.
Canada.
And the power of love prevails.
I'm there for option B. Can I vote for option B?
Yes.
I want that to be a thing.
Here's a fun game you can play. Sorry, Blair, you can go first.
Well, there was a YouTube video where they pitted all the famous geek characters in history against each other in a death match, and Deadpool ended up winning that death.
There's a series called Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe. Of course you would.
Yeah.
But there's a fun game that I am extremely good at because I invented it that you guys can play, where you take any two fictional characters in the world and you can make them ship. And it's called Will It Ship? And you essentially see if they will have a happy or otherwise romantic ending. It doesn't have to be happy. It can be traumatic. My favorite one was Fitz from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Thanos. It's bad. Anyway, so yeah, because Wolverine and Deadpool understand each other on a very base level. They have gone through the same thing. They're both from Weapon X. They're both basically immortal.
I honestly think they would just get bored after a while and walk away.
Maybe go drinking.
Yeah, well, actually, in the chat, Tammy Anderson says they should do thumb wrestling for shots.
Yes.
That's awesome. That's a great idea.
And then make out.
So instead they become bros.
Kiss. Make him kiss.
And so, like, you know, fist
I love
bumps,
you, bro.
painful fist bumps.
I got a little claw on that one. Oh, sorry about that. just the tip.
Yeah, that would totally
set up the just the tip joke. Yes.
Oh, I'm so proud of you.
You're welcome.
That's Blair's shiny moment on the show.
I'll be here for the next 5 minutes, folks.
Well, here, this next matchup, Blair, you'll enjoy since you are a fellow huge Star Wars fan.
I am.
R2-D2 versus BB-8.
R2.
Yeah, R2.
He's ruthless.
If you think about it, R2-D2 is the character that moves the plot from episode 1 to where we are currently. Yeah. He moves the plot the whole time. Just think, if there's no R2-D2, there's no plot.
True. I've heard, yes, that's totally true. But does moving the plot help you win battles?
Yes.
Okay.
Knowledge, my friend, and a zapper thingy, and
the screaming, his ultrasonic abilities.
He can fly sometimes.
He's basically
fast, though. You know,
R2 can fly in the past. That's my fart.
But what if you just dig a hole in front? Like you put a trap, you dig a hole, and then pop.
Let me hear from Lisa. Lisa wants to argue for BB-8. Let's hear that.
I mean, playing devil's advocate here, guys. BB-8's really, he's really swift, and I kind of feel like we have not seen everything that BB-8 can do yet.
I hope you're right.
What if he turns into a giant robot?
What if he has a freaking samurai sword hidden in there? We don't know. We don't know. We have not tapped his full potential yet, and he is quick. He's a quick little mofo. You see him rolling over that. He's rolling over that desert. I mean, he's fast. So I feel like he has mobility. He has the quickness.
So what you're saying is BB-8 is Genji.
So what I'm saying is BB-8 needs healing.
Yes. Thank you.
Need healing.
Orange Warrior need healing badly.
I really want to see him with a samurai sword now that you said that. That'd be amazing.
Me too. I wish I could draw.
Would it be a lightsaber or would it be an actual sword?
I think it should be
a lightsaber.
Or both.
Or it could be a katana,
force pike.
like a lightsaber shaped like a katana.
Yeah, it could have part metal and then part lightsaber.
Yeah.
Like Genji's sword. Just like Genji's sword.
Him and Rey back to back fighting.
Probably made out of Beskar.
In the chat, let's see. People. Tammy says R2 forever. Victor says R2 is a combat vet. All right, so R2's getting a lot of love in the chat. All right, let's see here. All right, I'm going to do this. Blair came up with this one. He wanted to come up with a really crappy character battle before the show, he said.
I did.
So blame him, folks, for this one. This is Watto from Episode 1 of Star Wars versus Neelix from Star Trek Voyager. By the way, we have so many Voyager huge fans in the chat. I don't know how much they're going to feel about you saying Neelix is such a crappy character, but we'll see.
Well, he is a crappy character, but he would still win because he would just go out Watto drunk.
Definitely, because Watto is the worst.
Watto is the worst. He can't even roll loaded dice. Like he's just terrible.
So what you're saying is Jar Jar is better than Watto?
Yes.
Jar Jar would be Watto.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Jar Jar's actually seen battle for starters. Plus, he's a Sith Lord, don't you know?
This is true. That was another costume I really wanted to do. Sith Lord Jar Jar.
Sith Jar Jar. I would not want to do that face.
Bro.
Yeah. That. Ugh.
Lisa Sith. You said.
No.
You said me to teach ya.
It's like my favorite,
No.
my favorite fan theory ever. My world was blown open the
That's
first
not
time I
a
read
fan
that.
theory. It's true.
It's like,
No theory. Only real.
All right, so in the chat, listeners mate says Neelix is the best chef in the Delta Quadrant. That might be true.
True.
Tammy Anderson says, would they actually fight or would they just make really bad trade deals?
Yeah, that's actually a solid point. That's a really good point. I tip my hat to your greater knowledge.
Yes, good job, Tammy. Tammy's awesome. She always has great comments. All right, cool. Actually, I think, why don't we just end with that really crappy battle? What a great way to end that.
We peter out.
such a letdown.
Wah, wah,
All right,
wah.
fine. I'll do one more.
Why did you? Thank you.
Yay!
Oh wait, should I do a good one now then?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, you know what? I'm gonna do this one because Blair was talking about Data from Next Gen, and he says no one can defeat Data. And I was like, I don't know about that, sir. So let's put Data versus the Terminator, meaning from the first movie, the T-800 model. And sorry, not everybody's watching Next Gen, but Data's the android in Next Generation.
I know who Data is. I don't know anything about Star Trek, but I know that.
No, you don't know anything about Star Trek.
Yeah. But everyone
And the
knows
Wessels.
Data, who Data is. Yeah, I think everybody knows that.
All right, well then tell me who's gonna win, Data or Terminator?
Obviously, Data.
Terminator.
Data has the power of love behind him. I'm going with the power of love again.
He does love his cat with no emotion.
Everyone loves Data.
He has the emotion chip in. Yes, I guess he could feel love.
And he has a cat.
He does have a cat spot. Yes, a good cat.
Does emotion block bullets, friends? Does
No, but
emotion
cats do.
block bullets?
Nope.
But cats do.
Oh, that's just
Sorry, that was
wrong.
funny.
That's
Oh.
terrible, dude. Oh my god, that was so wrong.
No,
I'll do what I have to.
no. Jeez.
Right.
You're definitely going to be terminated now.
Yeah, terminated from the show.
Oh.
Toss you that softball, Jeff. Yeah, you love that. I toss it right to you. It's good. It's good. You're welcome.
So good.
Dad, why?
You know,
Is this why you never send me birthday money?
Daddy.
I actually think this is a really tough one to call. I'm kind of going Terminator 2. I don't know, but Data is like so smart and clever. I don't know.
Given that if they both walk into the arena with no weapons, I think Data. But if there's any weapons, I got to think Terminator.
See, I think Terminator is just as strong, if not even maybe a little stronger than Data, though.
I mean, have you seen Arnold Schwarzenegger?
But I think Data's smarter, and I think in a battle,
he's way smarter. He's way
in
smarter.
a battle with no weapons, I would take brains over brawn. In a battle with weapons, I would generally take brawn over brains.
Have you seen The Princess Bride? There's your answer.
Okay, yeah. I mean, Carrie Elwes somehow choked out Andre the Giant. Completely believable.
Because
Yeah, generally
he fights
speaking,
lots of
they're
people.
bigger.
Hey man, he's the Dread Pirate Roberts. He can do anything.
Well, yeah, I don't know enough about the characters, but I think Terminator probably.
All right, let's see what the chat says. Tammy says Terminator wins. She says again, Data has morals. So I guess morals is like a bad thing in this case, you know. But Victor says Data will hack the T-800, and Tom says Data's smarter. So there you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
And he has a cat.
Cool.
Good comments.
There you
All
go.
right, cool folks.
Shield
All right.
Cat.
No, stop.
Or my original idea was Battle Cat.
Oh.
Battle Cat. Oh, now you're talking.
Right.
Oh
And that's what. So you could take the Shield Cat as
Right
in
in
the
the
cat just
childhood.
dies, or it has battle armor and then he blocks the bullets and reflects them.
Yeah, that's way cooler.
Yeah,
I like
say that
that.
the first time.
I mean, I got caught up in my dark fantasy. I apologize.
Wow. Okay.
I was Dr. Horrible.
She's cosplaying, guys. That's all it is. She's just cosplaying.
Oh, all right, very good. You're really into your role.
Stay in character, guys.
I wish I had some froyo. No, Dr. Horrible reference.
Yeah, all right.
I got it. I got it.
I should have said that to the first question. After I answered the first question, I realized, we should go on a frozen yogurt day.
The laundromat.
Well, at the laundromat.
the water rat, and he gets a Wonderflonium.
Every time.
And then we have to sing.
Well, in the chat, Tammy says, Battle Cat, I've always wanted a green tiger. Hell yeah, man. Battle
Right. Battle Cat's the best.
You and me both, baby. You and me both.
All right. All right, so that's going to do it pretty much for us tonight, folks. Before we get out of here, though, let's give some links out again. Jessie, where can people find you?
So you can find me on Twitter at egglasses, EGG glasses, or EG glasses. You can find me on Facebook at 50 Shades of Fandom, and you can also find me on Instagram at egglasses. And I post lots of cosplay stuff on there. So, yeah, check it out.
Awesome. Kristin?
BasicAdventuring101.com, and it's got all the links there, and then also Stay in Character on the Facebook.
Very good. And you people can also see you at Dragon Con the next few days.
Yeah, I'll be at Dragon Con. I'm on several panels actually, so
Have fun.
2 on Friday, and then I'm competing in the longsword tournament on Saturday. So
Oh, you didn't tell me that you're a real life badass. I forgot about that.
Wait, what tournament?
the HEMA tournament. It's historical European martial arts, longsword specifically.
Oh shit,
So,
that's awesome.
May the power of Longclaw be with you.
Thanks.
You have the power.
And Kristin, I've been trying to convince Jeff to go to the last party on Alderaan as well.
That one's the best. I will totally be that one too, because it's the best.
He keeps telling me about it. Does everybody pretend though at the end that like they think everything's blown up?
No, I also don't
That's
usually
bad.
stay that long, because it's like 1 o'clock or something before it actually ends. But no, I wish we could get to the end and it's like one big explosion and we're all like, ah!
Then the lights come up and you have to go home. I think that would be great.
No. I mean, but you actually last year I didn't stay, and it was the lights came up and it was like it's over. We're like, oh, well that was anticlimactic, which I guess it would actually be if you were on Alderaan and it was like the last night. You wouldn't know. It would just be over.
Confetti. Like
there is confetti. No, there is confetti, but that's just like a regular thing.
So I could have, you know.
That's a glow sticks and glitter thing. That just happens at every club all the time.
There's glow sticks and also lightsabers.
Lightsaber parties.
A million
glow
voices
sticks.
cried out and said, "Time to go home. Party's over."
Time to sleep off my growing hangover.
Drink some water before you go to bed. It will help prevent the hangover.
Claire's got the lightsaber.
I love it. Other good parties, if you are at Dragon Con, the One Night at Bree, I believe is what it's called, is pretty good if you like some fantasy stuff on Friday. It's kind of more like jig music and Tolkien and Lord of the Rings costume contest happens. I like that one a lot.
Death of the Green Dragon.
Commander Shepard dance during that.
Yeah,
Actually,
you know.
Tammy Anderson in chat had something hilarious for last party in Alderaan. Is just to have them announce last call and then all of a sudden have Alderaan blow up and bring the lights up. Like you're dead. No last call for you.
Congratulations, you have died.
Yeah, we usually have hipster stormtrooper show up with his big boombox thing. He's not hipster. He's the
Like 80s rapper guy.
he's like the red stormtrooper that's got like the big bling. You see him everywhere. Come on.
I know the guy. Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
I was there last year.
Lisa, where can people find you online?
On Instagram at Social Combat.
All right, it's combat with a K, folks. Remember.
Mhm.
All right, and Blair.
At Blair Beveridge and at WhoPod. Come check the stuff up. I'm also in Kristin's web show, Basic Adventuring 101. I play the Goblin Shaman.
He's so green.
So green and so mean.
I thought you were
So
gonna
never
say-
mean.
I thought you were gonna say he's so good, but you just now he's so.
No, I was green. I was
Very
definitely
green.
green. Probably not good, but definitely green. It
You
took
were
so long to wash that shit off.
Welcome to the world of body paint.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and because what we used on you was like you have to use oil to get it off.
Yeah, it was an hour and a half.
You should have just
You're
opened it.
welcome.
And then like cast photo, and I'm like, I'm only halfway done, guys. Come down, I got caked makeup. Just anyway, never mind.
Yeah, you looked awful.
I looked
In the chat, Tom says, "Good night, all. Good show. Thanks for having it." He also says he'll see you online, Lisa. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll
Well,
see
thank
you
for
on
stopping
the
by, Tom,
internet.
everybody.
That's right.
So, and of course, folks, you can find all the shows we do at supergeekedup.com. Super Knocked Up's up there. You know, we do some gaming shows, we do a DC show, all that good stuff. At Super Geeked Up is where you can hit me up on the tweets. And I will also be at Dragon Con. We're actually doing Super Geeked Up live. We like to do that at cons, and we do it on stage there. That's going to be Saturday night, 8:30 p.m. At the Hilton in Galleria 6 is the room. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna play a lot of geeky improv games. Gonna have the audience come up, play the games with us. I got a lot of cool prizes we're gonna give out too. So please come out to that. I'm actually on 12 panels total, so I just put the full schedule up on the website.
Nice.
So go to, yeah. But it's
The hardest working man at con right here, people.
Seriously.
Thank you.
It's like Chris Hardwick.
I want to put that. Okay, you guys are like my.
That guy's an amateur.
I just realized how easy it is to make a sexual pun out of his name.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
But thank you.
Gonna leave
I want to put that as my byline, the hardest working man at the con. Thank you for that. And
You are welcome.
Chris Hardwick is like pretty much who I try to emulate when I moderate stuff. So thank you, Blair, for that. I want to be the next Chris Hardwick, actually. So
I think we all do, really.
yeah, who doesn't?
Especially me.
And Lister Mate, I have seen that a few times about who I look like. I agree with you. That's all I got to say about that.
Oh, Seth MacFarlane, right? And Peter Brady from
Peter Brady, Seth MacFarlane, and Brian Regan. And I know all three of those guys. And I'll one up you. There's a comedian. I've lost his name. Move on. I forgot it, but
Stop thinking about it. You'll remember.
Anyway, folks, if you go to the supergeekedup.com, the events page, you can find all the panels will be on there, all the times, locations, all that good stuff. I would love to see you if you are at Dragon Con. I always love meeting people in person. So please swing by, say hello to any of those. And I'm sure Kristin likes people too. So go say hi to her.
And Jessie and I are just going to be at a con this weekend.
Yeah,
so.
we'll just happen to be somewhere.
They're at some Canadian con. It's not really.
Hey, you were there last year. I saw you there.
I was actually there last year doing our show. We had fun, a lot of fun actually at Fan Expo Canada in Toronto.
And the comedian's name is Rodney Carrington. Look him up.
Okay.
I'm a dead ringer. It's scary.
All right.
It's terrifying.
Okay, so anyway, folks, that is going to do us for us tonight. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you, everybody in the live chat. Thank you to Lisa, Kristin, Jessie for being awesome guests, and to Blair for guest co-hosting. You guys all rocked. And if you're watching the post, of course, we love that as well. Please, you can tweet us at SuperGeeked what you thought of the show. We'll see you next week, Wednesday night, same time, 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific, for some more geeky shenanigans. Until then, stay geeky, everybody. See you soon. Bye.